In this video, we want to take a look at the case for the LED flashlight, and we're going to make a lot of different versions of this and find out which one is better through experimentation. And so we're going to want to have a way to easily modify a case once we test it and find out how we need to improve it. So we're going to introduce variables in Onshape, and to do that, I'm going to come up here to the variable button here, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to give a length, a width, and a height for the case and a few other parameters. So the first thing I'm going to put in here is length, and we're just going to start out with 1.5 on that, so I'll accept that, and you can see it appears over here in the feature list. I'll click again, and we're going to have width, and for now that's just going to be 1 inch. These numbers are going to change. Let's see, height, H-E-I-G-H-T would be the next one. Let's just say 0.5. That's probably a little small, but again, we can easily change it through this variable. So now I've got these three variables, length, width, and height, that I can use. We're going to want some other ones. How about one called shell? This is going to be the thickness of the case when we shell it, and we'll probably have to zero in on this correct value. For now, I'm going to just take, I don't know, let's say 0.08, so 80 thousandths of an inch. And we're also going to need to put some fillets on a lot of stuff, and we may need more than one fillet, so I'm going to have one called fillet 1, 0.02. And okay, so I think that's all I need for now. And again, the reason we're doing this is because we're going to constantly be changing these as we zero in on the best design. So let's put a sketch on the front plane, and I'm going to make a center point rectangle right here, and you can see I'm prompted for this dimension here. I'm going to try to put in length, and what I've found for some reason is that if you try to initially put in the variable, it doesn't like it. But if you come up here to the dimension tool, whoops, then it'll pull it out, and it's got a pound sign in front of it just to identify it. And so if I select it there, I've got my length of 1.5. I think there's a way to do it, to use the variable as you dimension as you draw, but for some reason I've forgotten how to do that, or maybe there isn't. Why is that doing that? Okay, it's picking up the axis there, so we'll come out here. If I try to put in, it's going to be the height, h, yeah, there it goes. So it's been a little flaky for me this morning, but it looks like that worked. So again, we've put in not numbers, but these variables, so I can change those. So we're going to extrude a distance that is going to be width. So up here I'm going to type W-I-D-T-H, and there it is, it pops up, and I've got my rectangular prism, so I don't need the origin planes anymore. So here is my case. It's a solid block of length, width, and height, and now we want to shell it. We want to make it hollow, so let's go up to the shell command right here and click the hollow button, and for the shell thickness we're going to put shell in there, and it should be shelled. It didn't like that. Why didn't it like that? Let's try that again. Shell, I want it to be hollow. I want the thickness to be shell right there. So I click on there, and I think I got it. Now to find out if I do have that, let's go over here and look at it in translucent. Yeah, so we can see sort of inside of it, and it shelled it out to that thickness. That thickness is pretty big. Again, we're going to change these. All right. So what now? Let's split it. So let's see. Also, we can use the section view actually to check that. So if I click here and pull in, you can see that I've shelled it using the section view. That's a pretty slick tool. So we'll go back to shaded here. We'll turn off the section view, and we're going to split this and make a top and a bottom. So to do that, I need to have a mid plane between the top surface and the bottom surface. For now we're gonna split it evenly, top and bottom. And And I'm going to come up here to the split command, parts and surfaces to split. I'll click there, entity to split with. Well, it's that plane I just made. So we're going to click there, and you can see it made another part there. And I'll accept that. So we've split that in principle. Let's find out which is which. So if I right click on part 1 and edit the appearance, that looks like that's the top. So let's change its color like that and rename it. We're going to make a lot of these, so I'm going to call it top A. Let's rename TOPA. And the bottom is that one. Rename bottom A. Okay, I have these two parts now. What I want to do now is, I think I can turn that off. So I've got these two parts, and they sit right on top of each other. What we want to do now is we want to come in here. Let's go back to the section view. And we want to zero in on these areas here, because this is where the top and the bottom are going to fit together. So we need to figure out how to get the top and the bottom to securely stay together, but yet be removable for changing the battery, for example. So what I think I'm going to do is put a mid-plane right here, and then I'm going to put a sketch plane on that mid-plane, like so. I can turn that mid-plane off. Let's see, that's not what I wanted. Let's get rid of that. So I do want to put a sketch on that plane. Okay. Where's my sketch plane? I left it. Okay. Sorry about that. Go in there. So I've got the sketch plane right in the middle. So to get this to work, what I want to do is I want to be able to see in there. And so I'm going to make it again translucent and then zoom up. So what I'm going to do is make a very simple friction fitting, and you'll see how that's going to work in a second. So remember, I'm on a sketch plane right in the middle over here. You can't see the sketch plane because its edges are way out there, so I get it right in the middle there. And I'm zooming up, and I'm going to use this geometry here, these lines here that are on the bottom, and I'm going to do something very simple. I'm going to make a corner point rectangle that goes from here to, let's go, I don't know, let's just go halfway through there. So that would be what? Shell over 2. So if I click here, that distance should be, yeah, again, it doesn't like for me to use a variable as I make the stuff. Shell over 2. I didn't like that. I gotta put that pound sign in front of it. Didn't like that. Let's undo that. Control Z. Okay. I think it's best to just type the SH and then grab it from here and then divide by 2. Okay, so it's right in the middle. And then in terms of this distance, we'll probably want to define a variable for this. But for now, let's just say 0.1. So I've got this rectangle here on the bottom part. So I'm going to accept that sketch. And hopefully you can see what I'm going to do here. I can actually turn off the top, visibility of the top. So I'm going to extrude, remove extrude that rectangle. Like that. It's going to be symmetric. And I'm going to keep it at actually 1 inch. So it's a big extrusion. It merges with the bottom. I think that's right. So if I turn it back on to shaded view, you can see I've taken a chunk out of here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a mating feature on the top that will fit into there. And then along here, along these vertical edges, that's going to be a friction. And you can see that might work for a little while, but it's probably not a robust way to put these together, but we're going to do it that way anyway for now. Okay, so let me go back, and I am going to put the visibility on the top. And now I need to make that sort of the male part of that on the top version. So let me again put a sketch on that plane in the middle. So here we are. And what I want to do is I want to use what I just drew because I want to just draw that and attach that to the top. Okay. So I've got that, and now I just need to extrude it and make sure the merge scope merges it with the top part. So I'll come along here, click there. Didn't like that. We're gonna actually add, and let me back off on that. Let me turn off the bottom. There we go. So you can see hopefully what I'm going to do here. I'm going to extrude that part symmetrically. The merge scope is with the top, and let's see if that worked. I don't think it did, because I didn't change it to... Oh, it did. Okay, so from there, let me turn off that sketch, or that plane 2. So we've got the top that looks like this. So this protrudes down, and we've got the bottom that looks like that. And you can see that that's going to provide some friction in there if we get things just right. Again, probably not the most robust way to attach these, but we're working up from simplicity to more complicated. So I'm going to insert that case here into the an assembly, and you can see how it works. So we're going to get friction along this face on the inside, this face on the outside, I guess a little bit here, and that will hold these together somewhat and allow them to be removed. And of course we would mirror these two features over to the other side. We could even make more of them, maybe one over here and one over there. And so that is that's our first investigation into making a case. And just a few final notes. You know, we'd have fillets all over here. I've left those off because we're concentrating on this area here. And even this area here, we might want to put fillets on some of the corners so that it goes in there easier, but you wouldn't want to degrade the ability of this thing to stay together using fillets. So it's a very complex topic. It'll be a lot of fun to make this thing work. And I think I'll end it there. Thanks for watching.